All right. Welcome to another episode of Talking Ball with Pat Leonard. This is First Down with Bennie Fowler, breaking down week 2 of the NFL's action around the league with the Super Bowl champion, former NFL wide receiver. Can't wait for that. First, want to tell you guys about MyBookie. MyBookie sponsors Talking Ball with Pat Leonard. They have a promo code now, Pat's Picks. Go to the link in my profile, whether it's on X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Click the link, enter the promo code Pat's Picks, and you will get your first deposit of $50 or more matched up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. MyBookie is in its 10th year anniversary, everybody, and they're rolling out the red carpet for bettors with risk-free Thursdays, weekly no sweats, and a MyBookie Plus rewards program, a new loyalty program they have for those of you who are already using mybookie.ag. Make your football season a winning season with MyBookie. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Also brought to you by Estate 98 Coffee, an all-natural specialty coffee with no sugar, convenient for on-the-go coffee drinkers. Takes you 10 seconds to make an iced coffee. Go to estate98.com/talkingball to get a special buy one, get one free deal. And brought to you by Boom Chaga Mushroom Super Drink, a natural extract loaded with anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting antioxidants and heart-healthy compounds. You can easily pour this natural liquid supplement into any of your favorite drinks, like I put mine in my coffee every morning, and immediately feel the difference. I personally have felt a post-workout-like energy boost with Boom. Chaga also has the ability to lower cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and improve immune and heart health with its beta-glucans and antioxidants. Go to boomchaga.com today to place your first order. And if you use the discount code TalkingBall25 or access it through the QR code on your screen, you'll get 25% off your first subscribe and save order. Right now, that means a month's supply costs you only $30. Start feeling the difference today at boomchaga.com. And now on to First Down with Bennie Fowler. All right, we're back with our week 2 edition of First Down with Bennie Fowler, Super Bowl champion, former NFL wide receiver, knows the ins and outs of how the league works, which teams are up, which teams are down. And we're going to tell you the breakdown of what we see every week around the league. Bennie, thanks for being back here, man.
Absolutely, Pat, man. Appreciate you having me, man. Looking forward to just diving into what we just saw.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's nice to see somebody smiling at me, Bennie, because I just came from Washington and I was getting icy glares from Brian Daboll. And let me just be clear to the fans out there. The clip going viral is I asked Brian Daboll if he's concerned about his job, and he answered it. And then as another reporter was asking the next question, he goes back and just starts staring a hole through my soul. But he was staring at me before that, Bennie. Icy glares, just over questions about Graham Gano, about mismanaging the kicker injury situation. I don't know exactly what it's referring to, whether it's about something I wrote. I, however, take it as a full picture of where the team stands. Bennie, I want to put the first question to you is, do players see that kind of behavior from a coach? Do players care about that kind of behavior from a coach? And does that kind of tense behavior and that kind of aggressiveness or defensiveness carry over maybe to how a locker room behaves in an 0-2 situation like this?
No, I would just say everybody is in that. I mean, we talked about this last week, but everybody in that locker room, everybody in that coaching that's on that coaching staff is definitely on high alert in terms of their job. And I would say that what him staring through your soul won't carry over into the locker room, because I think those guys are more worried about their jobs and what they can control. But I definitely think it goes into the coaching staff, and they know that they're coaching for their job and that they can't make mistakes. But geez, Pat, man, you're pissing a lot of people off. I liked it. I like it. I like it. No,
Well,
but I mean, when you're 0-2, he can feel that pressure, and he's couple bad seasons, some questionable calls, and an opportunity. I saw the stat where you score 3 touchdowns, you don't allow a touchdown, and it's like I don't know what the record is, but only 2 people have lost that game, and now the Giants are one of those teams, and that's tough.
Yeah. Do players react to, heavy criticism of the Giants' decision? They know Graham Gano's hurt going into the game. They decide not to elevate a kicker and in a contingency plan in case Gano gets hurt. And then he gets hurt on the first play of the game, chasing down a kickoff. And that means they can't kick extra points now. They go for 2 unsuccessfully a couple times. They can't even kick a field goal after Daniel moves them down the field into field goal range during a tie game. So I'm wondering do players start to second guess things when that happens?
Definitely second guessing the leadership. We were practicing all week, and that doesn't make any sense for us to go into this game. You know that the kicker's injured, and you don't make the right decision in terms of elevating somebody else, just having the right plans in place, and that's a lack of leadership right there. That's a lack of direction, and we need all the wins and all the positive momentum we can get. And usually, and Daniel played really well. Usually, the Giants go down to Washington, or when they play Washington, they play really well. And as of late, they've been winning those games. And
Yeah.
to not get this win and be 1-1 because of little errors like that, coaching errors, roster errors, that'll piss you off as a player because you already knew. And it's almost like you're throwing that game.
I'm glad you mentioned Daniel because I wanted to say from a positive side, like last week, you were direct and candid about how much better Daniel had to play. This week, what did you see from him that you liked? And also, want your take on Neighbors because obviously in week 1 they tried to get him the ball, but we definitely saw it with 18 targets in week 2, kind of explode a little bit there.
Yeah, Daniel played really well, super efficient. Missed some throws here and there, but overall, he played how he knows how to play, and
Mm,
he can move the ball, throwing the ball, finding his targets. When DJ gets comfortable with a target, they have an incredible relationship and rapport. You saw that with Malik Neighbors this past week, and you've seen it in the past with Slayton. They have a great relationship, and they find each other, and they just know how to play really well together. He had it with Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate as well, a little bit with Evan Ingram. But what I saw from Malik Neighbors is, yeah, first round talent, first round pick, and he knows how to play, run after the catch, strong hands. Missed the one in the fourth quarter, but 10 catches. I forgot how many yards he had, maybe over a buck 50, but
mm.
incredible player and a young player. And I think I think the sky is the limit for him. And you could just see, these kids that come out of LSU, these receivers that come out of LSU are some of the best. And the New York Giants have had success with another LSU receiver come out in the first round, making incredible plays, running after the catch plays. So I saw some great things out of DJ. I saw some great pocket presence. The touchdown he threw to Neighbors, great pocket presence right there, going through all his reads and then finding him in the end zone. So DJ looked a little bit more comfortable. I think he'll look even more comfortable continuing throughout the season. And Malik Neighbors, watch out.
Yeah, and to be honest, listen, I know he gets paid a lot of money, but I feel bad for Daniel. Like, I woke up Sunday morning and there was a big headline from ESPN and Adam Schefter actually with his byline on it before the game, reminding people that Daniel has an injury guarantee of 23 million that kicks in next season if he gets hurt this year and has an injury that prevents him from passing a physical next March. And I just think that's dirty work from whoever is behind why that's getting out there. Like, it is a reality. We've been reporting on it for months. But I asked Daniel about it. I mean, he gave like a diplomatic answer, but I don't know about you, but just as a friend of his, like I just don't like stuff like that. Like, that's, you know, I think he is operating if fans don't fully appreciate this. And again, he's getting paid a lot of money to do it. I think he's operating from a standpoint of understanding that very few people around him actually believe in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that has to be especially difficult. The quarterback's hard enough. I don't know if you have any kind of take on that, but I just feel like it's for him to have confidence in himself. I don't know where he's drawing it from other than him and the people closest to him, to be honest.
he's drawing confidence from those paychecks. That's where he's drawing the confidence from. But I don't think DJ has ever, I can't say that he's never lacked confidence, but DJ doesn't really care about what other people think about him. And I know that for a
Mm.
fact. And that's why he'll go out there and he'll play how he wants to play. He'll do the things that he wants to do. Yeah, but it sucks though when you have coaches or people in the front office putting out things like that before you're playing, or giving those, inside scoops of information, releasing these on Sunday morning before the game. It's kind of ridiculous because I think one of the things that I always appreciated as a former player is that when my coaches believed in me, I played to the best of my ability because you feel like you can't lose. You feel like you can go out there and you're not thinking from a place of failure, you're thinking from a place of abundance. And I feel like right now it's going to be hard for DJ to come from that abundance mindset and that confidence, super confident mindset, I should say, in terms of how he plays, because he knows that Daboll or whoever the offensive coordinator is, and the front office staff don't necessarily believe in him. And Hard Knocks didn't really do the Giants any favors in terms of
No.
their belief in him, their belief in themselves. To be honest, I mean, they don't even believe in themselves in the way they pick players. Besides Neighbors, they did a good job with that one. But other than that, I mean, right now it's a complete shit show in New York.
Yeah. One more question about DJ. So this week they resumed the team dinners or the offensive dinners. They went to a place called Ilia Mediterranean Restaurant, a Greek place in East Rutherford. They were raving about the food, all that. But I just found it very interesting because, well, first of all, Justin Pugh came in and made sure they were doing it last year. But I remembered when you and Russell Shepard were here and Slay was a rookie and Daniel was a rookie, you and Old Shep, as we called him back then, you guys were kind of fostering that understanding with Daniel that was a type of constructive and helpful thing he could do with his teammates. I just want to know if you could take me back to what you remember about those initial impressions of Daniel when you got to, sit around, get to know him, but also mentor him a little bit, and how you see that carrying over to him, shepherding these now.
What I remember about those dinners is that it was just fun. I mean, we weren't doing a lot of winning at the time, but it was a great team. It was a great locker room in terms of the camaraderie and the types of conversations that we were having.
Mm.
Yeah, I consider a lot of those guys friends to this day. Like, I mean, not texting every day, but definitely, I keep in touch with Big Shep, Young Shep, and Slay. Just congratulating them, congratulating DJ after he got his contract, and it's just good to see those guys in the league still. Evan Ingram thriving in Jacksonville, had to get out of New York for people to realize how incredible he was, and congratulations to him on his contract. But that's what I remember from those dinners, is just having a lot of fun with those guys. They were just really cool people, funny people. Dang, it was funny. And it was just, he was eyes wide. I mean, you come in, you replace a legend in Eli after 4 games, and then he had some success winning down in Tampa. But it was a
It's a
lot of fun
great
hanging
game,
around with
man.
those guys. Yeah, great game by him and Slade. That was Slade's coming out party as well. And it's just good to see those guys still in the league, still thriving, and for the most part healthy. But yeah, we were just having conversations. And I think what I remember most is telling those guys about the league, because I had seen it now from a couple of different points of view. My first couple of years being the number 1 seed out of the AFC West with Peyton as the quarterback, and then us winning the Super Bowl in my second year, and then two really bad years after that, a 9-7 year and then a 5-11 year with different head coaches. I mean, I played 4 years in Denver, won a Super Bowl in my second year, but I had 3 head coaches in 4 years. It was a lot of turnover. And
Man.
you would never think that from a team that had 2 number 1 seeds out of those 4 years that I was there. So I had already saw a lot, and I had incredible veterans around me. So you have a Peyton Manning, you have a DeMarcus Ware, you have an Aqib Talib, a TJ Ward. I played with Wes Welker, I played with Von Miller. Like, I had seen it all and heard it all from
Mm.
that point of view. Emmanuel Sanders, so Julius Thomas. So I played with some incredible players who really gave me a different perspective that I was able to share with those guys. I was able to share a lot of winning things and things that we did when we were winning, such as the Thursday night dinners. And Peyton taking us out to dinner on Thursday nights and really, telling us stories and showing that he was a part of the team. And I think that's what you want to do with those Thursday night dinners, is that we're all in here together and we're all going to play on Sunday together. And I think, it's good to hear that those guys are picking that back up, because that's where you really get to, you fight for your teammates and you really get to know one another. And that's where the relationships get built.
That's really cool. You're right. It would be nicer for me to call Russell Shepard Big Shep instead of Old Shep, as I was
Jeff,
joking.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a much nicer way of doing it. All right, let's shift to around the league. Benny, I'll let you pick where we start, but I have to say, as far as the wins of the week category, it's really hard to pick it because there are a lot of impressive wins this week. Raiders beating the Ravens, Saints beating the Cowboys, the Bucks beating the Lions on the road, Vikings beating the Niners, Cardinals waxing the Rams. I'll let you pick, though. Where do we start? Which game stood out to you maybe as the most impressive win of the week?
Most impressive to me is going on the road to Dallas, New Orleans. I just don't know. I don't trust Derek Carr just yet as that quarterback. But like right now, the offense looks good. They scored on their first 15 possessions of the season, either with
Oh,
a field
wow.
goal or a touchdown. But they look incredible. and Alvin Kamara, um, the receivers. I mean, they're just playing. They're playing complementary football. And shout out to Clint Kubiak, who is the offensive coordinator there now. Who was the offensive coordinator and not offensive coordinator. He's quarterback coach in Denver, and just seeing his progression and throughout is just incredible to see. But I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but right now New Orleans is sticking out in terms of how they look. Another impressive win would be Bucks going to the Lions. These two teams winning on the road from the NFC South. Baker Mayfield playing some really good football, playing some complimentary football. He had a nice little juke on a quarterback run.
Mhm.
So it's just this is the NFL though. This is you just never know what's going to happen. But yeah, the Bucks and New Orleans both winning on the road, both NFC South teams, and they're both 2-0. Very impressive wins on the road.
Good point.
Quarterback play. These quarterbacks who have been questioned in terms of their play, more so Baker Mayfield a couple years ago, but he played really well last year, and now is picking it up this year. Last year, Derek Carr played okay, not really, and New Orleans didn't do all that well last year. And him getting off to a super fast start, playing some really good football, making some really good throws, and just complimentary football, running the ball, passing the ball, and their defense continue to do their thing with guys like Demario Davis, Cam Jordan on the defensive side of the ball.
I'm really mad at myself for it because I gave out my Pats picks of the week, and I don't know why I forgot to do this, but that Bucks as 7-point dogs on the road in that game made no sense to me coming off of how they did in the playoffs there last year. Like I felt
Mm-hmm.
like they were toe to toe with the Lions, and it was just a play made and not made at the end. But I definitely felt like that's a team that people need to pay attention to, you know? Like, I think you and I both agree we're still watching the Saints like, "Wait, is this for real?" But
Yeah.
the Bucks, we know it is, I think,
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys game, Benny, the so New Orleans, obviously, now this is 2 games where they've cooked. Do you look at a game like this where, Dan Quinn's out and listen, his defense was terrible in the playoffs against Green Bay, but his defense largely would dominate a lot of regular season games when he was there under Mike McCarthy. So you have Mike Zimmer in. Does this kind of an output by them against the Saints team that has some weapons, but like you said, Derek Carr has not in his career been an absolute world beater. Does this concern you about where Dallas is?
Yeah, definitely. I think Dallas's defense is built to play with the lead, though. They don't have anybody who likes to try to stop the run. They all want to get sacks and rush the passer. And the offense that they just played is a zone scheme offense. It's the Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan offense. It's West Coast zone cut, one cut. And you saw Alvin Kamara. I mean, just the way he was running the ball. And that slows somebody like Micah Parsons down because he just wants you to be in shotgun and he wants to be able to rush the passer.
Hmm.
And they took him completely out of the game, all of their pass rushers out of the game because they're going to run the ball and their offense is built off of running the ball. So the Dallas defense is built for rushing the passer and getting picks, Trayvon Diggs, those types of guys. Like they like to sit on routes and you're not able to do that if they're running the ball on you and they're running it at you. So that's what's concerning about Dallas' defense. And it's going to be hard to fix. You need some big people up front to clog the middle.
You know what scares me about that, Benny, is you're telling me that the Dallas defense has the same problem they had at the end of the playoffs last year. Like
100%. Nothing
that's,
changed.
so I think that's, from not to take it back to betting all the time, but I'm saying, you think about who's going to win the Super Bowl and, like I get emails all the time from different websites, right? It says our analytics predict XYZ. And there was one that had like some AI generating machine that at the start of this season, I just got this email the other day. It said it picked the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Dolphins. So obviously it's not looking good for the Dolphins right now either. But when
Dolphins
you
are
think
cooked.
about the Dallas Cowboys, being in that position, um, they're not going to win a Super Bowl with the defense like you just described. They're going to be a team that doesn't have the lead at some point in a critical game down the stretch. And they're going to need to be able to stop the run. And if they can't do that, you could just draw a red line through their team right now.
100%.
Might as well pivot real quick to what I just mentioned there, the Dolphins, the Tua situation. Is their season over? I mean, can they recover from something like this?
It'll be hard to. I mean, you have Tua who played incredible all last year, just got his new contract, who's built incredible rapport with Tyreek Hill, Waddle. River Craycraft, all of his skill players, Raheem Mostert, HA. So he has
Yeah.
built these rapport and he knows that offense and he has played really well in that offense at times. It's going to be hard. Who steps in and plays, that type of football to where their offense can continue to thrive like that. And that offense is a lot of timing. You have to play in that offense. You have to play in that offense well, and you have to really understand the timing aspect of it. So it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. I don't know if they go trade for Garoppolo or somebody who's been in that offense before and who really understands Mike McDaniel and the calls and the things that he's trying to do. But it's going to be tough. It's just, yeah. Where do you
It
go?
it's so crazy that they got penalized and docked and fined for tampering with Tom Brady a couple years ago. Now he's in the booth and everyone's just waiting for that phone call to actually happen. But now he's getting paid what $25 million a year by Fox to call games. He's buying into the Raiders as an owner, so feels
Why
like
would
that.
Tom Brady want to come back? Like,
Yeah, well, what if he could throw 3-yard passes to Tyreek Hill to get 80-yard touchdowns?
yeah, but what's in it for Tom Brady? You got every record. Like,
Yeah.
just go be in the booth and let it go.
No doubt. No, well said. I want to tell our listeners and viewers real quick one more time about my bookie. My bookie is where you're going to win all season long. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. It's their 10th anniversary. They have a lot of great offerings there and a new loyalty rewards program. Go check it out. The link for signing up, mybookie.ag, is in my bio and all my social media. Click on that. Use the promo code PATSPICKS, and you'll get a special deal. Your first deposit of $50 or more matched 100% up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. Look for my Pat's picks on social media every week leading into the games. Also brought to you by Boom Chaga Mushroom Super Drink. Go to boomchaga.com today to place your first order. If you use the discount code TalkingBall25 or access it through the QR code on your screen, you'll get 25% off your first subscribe and save order. Right now, that means a month's supply costs you only $30. Start feeling the difference today at boomchaga.com. And Estate 98 Coffee, estate98.com/talking ball. You'll get a special buy one, get one free deal on an all natural specialty coffee with no sugar that is convenient for on the go coffee drinkers. Benny, the Minnesota Vikings, are they for real now? Like we thought the Giants week 1 loss, I mean, it was terrible no matter who it was to, but Sam Darnold, the way he's playing right now, Kevin O'Connell, the schematic advantage he's giving them, and beating a team like the 49ers, who are either going to be or going to challenge to be in the Super Bowl again. Does this tell you right now, like this Vikings team is not who we thought they were?
Yeah, they're definitely a lot better. I'm still, I feel the same way about the Minnesota Vikings the way I feel about the New Orleans Saints. It's like it's too good to be true almost in terms of how they're playing. But I mean, I think we talked about it last week. Sam Darnold, he was the number 2 pick. Like, so he is talented and he does know how to play. And I think this might be a scheme that really fits him the way he likes to play and his attributes. So if we look at that and we think about that, I mean, Sam Darnold, he's doing his thing. Kevin O'Connell, that goes back to Kevin O'Connell, the New Orleans Saints, Minnesota Vikings. They're both running the same offense. It's that Mike Shanahan, Kubiak offense. It's a lot of play action. It's always built off the running game. It tries to make the throws easy for the quarterback. I mean, obviously, Justin Jefferson has that 97-yard touchdown. But if you look at the touchdown to Naylor, that was built off of a play action fake where the receiver inserts in between the tight end and the tackle, acts like he's going to block the safety, and then slips out underneath. But it's all built off of play action in the run game. So, yeah, the Minnesota Vikings look good. Defense played really well. I think Flores does a really good job. I think they beat them. They beat the 49ers last year as well. So they do a really good job of playing that team. But Kevin O'Connell can call plays with the best of them, really scheming people up. And it's impressive to see. So we'll see. I mean, the NFL season is so long. You can have these people who start off fast and they don't necessarily finish strong. So, but right now, their stock is up. Minnesota's stock is up, and Sam Darnold's playing some really good football.
Speaking of stock up, the Raiders, a team that I and a lot of people did not give much credit coming out of week 1, they come back, beat the Ravens 26-23. And Benny, to me, what I wanted to ask you specifically about this game was, seemed like to me they were down 10 early in the fourth quarter and Davante Adams kind of took the game over.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about him before a little bit, but what makes him a guy who, like, that in that select group of players who can, at the wide receiver position, just completely take over a game like that. I mean, that's a double-digit deficit they overcame.
I just think his ability to understand the game. He never looks like he's running full speed, but always can get open. He made that incredible catch on the sideline. Minshew throws him a ball, kind of like a back shoulder fade or comeback, whatever it may be. And for him to, do the Tony toe tap and catch that ball on the sideline and make that incredible play. His hands, his just ability to get open, he creates that separation. And, when you're Minshew, you got to go to somebody who has that type of skill and that type of ability. Like, it doesn't matter. Double covered, triple covered. Davante is going to make the ball. He's one of the only players that I ever seen where this is when he was playing in Green Bay. I think they might have been playing Baltimore. They were down in the red zone and he was getting double covered. The safety was on the inside. The corner had outside leverage to not let him outside. Davante Adams still beats him outside because of the way he just released off the line of scrimmage and scores a touchdown. So he just has that type of ability in terms of understanding leverage, being able to make the defender go where he wants them to go, and then make the play. And then Minshew, shout out to him for threading the needle and getting him some of those balls.
What makes Davante such a good route runner with those releases? And when you say beating a corner outside who has outside leverage, is Davante crafting a route where his steps and momentum is taking the corner right just for a split second, changing his eyes like it? And how much does he have to practice something like that to actually physically play with it at that speed? If that's a fair question.
Yeah, Devontae has that type of ability. This is something that he naturally has, and I think it comes from his basketball background, and the way he has that dead leg. That it's kind of like an in and out crossover. So that's how Devontae plays, and he naturally has that because he's a basketball player, and has a basketball background, and he has that type of movement and wiggle. I think as he's gotten older, he has just learned to continue to just perfect his craft. I don't think that's something you practice all the time, but he just naturally knows, like, I want to get a defender to move inside. This is how I'm going to set it up. And he just slow plays it and he rocks him to sleep, gets him where he wants him to go, and then he's gone. You can't hit what you can't see. So Devontae just has that natural ability, and he has a natural feel to the game. You can see it when he plays. That's why no one can speed him up.
Wait, are you telling me basically that this is like an Allen Iverson type situation where he's juking guys with a killer crossover type thing?
I wouldn't say in a way.
Yeah.
It's definitely not that quick, but yes, he has that deceptiveness of like, oh yeah, I'm going to get you to go this way, and then I'm gone.
I appreciate you putting it in basketball terms, knowing that it would make more sense to me if you went that way. So
Yeah.
the dead leg route is that definitely hit. All right, close it out with this. We talked last week about a couple teams that look like serious contenders, the Chiefs and the Texans. Both
Mhm.
our Super Bowl picks. You picked the Chiefs, I picked the Texans. What stood out to you about both of their abilities to win these games? Chiefs 26, Bengals 25, a tight one, and then Texans 19, Bears 13.
Well, shout out to Cincinnati. They played really well. Unfortunately, they had that pass interference call at the end.
Bummer.
Patrick Mahomes, you can't turn the ball over. You cannot turn the ball over. He had a couple of turnovers where, I'm questioning where he's going with the ball and what he's looking at. But, they find a way. And it's weird that, these 4th and 16s, usually when you see a 4th and 16, you're like, all right, this game is pretty much in the bag. But he's going to find a way to actually make the throw or get a penalty. It's ridiculous, and then they finish it off at the end. But the Chiefs, what's incredible about that win, I think, is that they always find a way to win these tough, close games, and games where they actually should lose. They find a way to win these tough games, and that gives you a lot of confidence going in, or like when the game is going to be close, you've been there before, and also worries the other team is like you just never know what's going to happen on that other side because they have number 15 and then they have an incredible kicker. So what stands out to me is that Kansas City finds out a way to win these close games all the time. You always just feel like they're winning, either whether they get in a call or they're just making a play. They always win the tough and the close games. What stands out about the Houston game is that CJ Stroud, his pocket presence is incredible. He looks like a 10-year vet out there in terms of the way he climbs the pocket, the way he goes through his progressions, and throwing that that catchable ball. When you think about the Nico Collins dig route touchdown that he caught the other day. CJ Stroud puts that on the money. Nico Collins runs through the ball and then run after catch and scores a touchdown. But CJ Stroud, I mean, they didn't score a lot of points, but if you just think about the balls, the footballs that he was throwing, him climbing up into the pocket, I mean, it's just incredible to see. That guy's in year two, year two, game two, making some incredible plays and incredible leadership. And that's what you want to see out of a quarterback going from year one to year two is the progression, him getting more comfortable in that offense and just the type of the way he was playing. But they were flying around and it looked like they had Caleb Williams' picture up all over the locker room and up all over the facility because the way they were hitting him on Sunday night was it was insane. I was like, geez, they are trying to put him out of the game. But yeah, they played really well. They played a sound game. But yeah, I like Houston. They continue to do well.
Excellent breakdowns, as always. That is Bennie Fowler, Super Bowl champion, former NFL wide receiver. This has been First Down with Bennie Fowler. Bennie, your insights are always amazing. Looking forward to catching up next week because as we sit here now, still waiting on Saquon Barkley's second game with the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football against the Atlanta Falcons. So definitely will be more to talk about next week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Pat.
Great insight from Bennie Fowler. As always, join us every Monday for First Down with Bennie Fowler to break down the week's action across the NFL. We are sponsored here by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Go to the link in my bio on X, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, wherever you can find me on social media. Click the link and use the promo code PATSPICKS, the special promo code PATSPICKS. That'll get you 100% match on your first deposit of $50 or more, up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. Whether it's underdog upsets, backdoor covers, or a shootout between two Lombardi contenders, MyBookie is here to help you cash in on every single moment. Make your football season a winning season in the 10th anniversary of MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Also brought to you by Boom Chaga Mushroom Super Drink, a natural extract loaded with anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting antioxidants and heart-healthy compounds. You can easily pour this natural liquid supplement into any of your favorite drinks. I put mine in my coffee every morning and immediately feel the difference. I personally have felt a post-workout-like energy boost with Boom. Chaga also has the ability to lower cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and improve immune and heart health with its beta-glucans and antioxidants. Go to boomchaga.com today to place your first order. And if you use the discount code TalkinBall25 on your first order, on the subscribe and save order, you'll get 25% off. You could also click on the QR code on your screen and get that same deal. Right now, that means a month's supply costs you only $30. Start feeling the difference today at boomchaga.com. And brought to you by Estate 98 Coffee, an all-natural specialty coffee with no sugar, convenient for on-the-go coffee drinkers. Takes me less than 10 seconds to make an iced coffee and only a minute more to make a hot coffee or latte with this special all-natural concentrate. Go to estate98.com/talkingball to get a special buy one, get one free deal. Thanks for being with me on Talking Ball with Pat Leonard on the Believe Network. See you next time.